As many of you guys know, I did not purchase my BMW i8. Instead, I did a 2-year lease on it. So I've spent nearly a year with it. It's up in July of next year, and I'm really looking forward to the next year with it. I really do love this car. I'm planning on filming a full cinematic review very soon, but something came up recently that kind of brought me to make this video. I was looking into something, and I started thinking about this. So, pretty much kind of want to explain why I am not going to keep this car past the end of the lease. There are a bunch of reasons, some that I kind of knew going into the lease, some that I've discovered more recently throughout the lease. First of all, I want to say I love this car. It's fun to drive. I love the design. It's got a lot of really cool technology. The looks, it attracts attention. I love the way everything comes together. It's a great car that brings me a lot of happiness every time I take it out. That being said, when I got into this lease in the first place, I knew I wasn't going to keep it. I wasn't going to buy it. It's not a car that I was going to keep forever. I was offered the chance to do a 3-year lease versus a 2-year lease. It would have been a couple bucks a month cheaper, but I decided not to do that because I knew at the end of 2 years, I was probably going to want to move on, upgrade to something else. I think it's just a common theme. You're always wanting to move up to something more exotic or move up a level in performance or pricing. I knew I was going to have something in terms of another aspirational goal, something else to work for that I wanted to get. So I ended up picking the 2-year lease, which in theory, each month payment is a little bit higher by a very, very tiny margin. But to me, it was worth it to be able to get out of the car after 2 years and move to something else. Well, that's one reason why I'm not keeping the car past my lease. I knew that coming into getting the vehicle. The second one I've discovered as I've owned this car for the last year is reliability. So a big part of it is this car has a very sort of futuristic, advanced powertrain setup. It's got a little 3-cylinder in the back, 1.5 liters, pushing on a ton of horsepower. It's very turbocharged. It makes something like 25 pounds of boost from the factory. That's a lot. It's high stress. That's got a electric motor mated to it to fill into torque gaps as the turbo spools up. That's to a 6-speed automatic transmission. Then you have more electric motors up front with the batteries and another transmission. That's a lot of powertrain complexity, and this thing has a lot of sort of cutting edge technology and melding all these different sources of powering the vehicle. That leads to maybe some issues that will arise. Now, similarly, something that comes to mind is the Volvo XC90. Brilliant luxury SUV, love it. Everything about that thing, I was infatuated. I'd be really scared to own that, though, out of warranty over a long period of time, because it similarly also has a very, very advanced powertrain system, turbocharged and supercharged. The T8 is hybrid. That's not a car similar to this one that you really want to own out of warranty. Personal experience, this car, I think maybe 2,000-3,000 miles in, got a check engine light, took it in, the bulletin, it said low engine oil pressure. I was like, what? How the hell does that happen? Took it in, I guess it was a known issue. Dealership said there was a service bulletin. They did a couple oil changes, I don't remember exactly what they changed. Fixed that. Fine, all right, bring it back. A couple thousand miles later, I think about 5,000 miles into the vehicle's life, it was over the winter, this winter, I went to go get gas. And with this vehicle, to get gas, there's a button right on the door here that you press, and it preps. It doesn't allow you just to open the fuel tank, because I think it's something to do with the high voltage and electronic systems. It has to like equalize pressure before you're allowed to open it. And it kept getting stuck at like 35%. Wouldn't go any further. I was like, what's it going on? Why can't I open my gas door? Finally, gave me a little error in the in iDrive, told me there was something wrong to take it in, and I was like, I still need gas. What do I do? So I did some research, looked through the owner's manual. It said there's a manual release in the trunk. Popped it open, put gas into it, took it into the dealership, scheduled a service, and what ended up being wrong was a faulty fuel pressure sensor, which required a entire brand new fuel pump. This is 5,000 miles into a brand new, very expensive vehicle. Now you notice I wasn't particularly upset about that, because especially the fuel pump one, it was in the middle of winter. The car would have been sitting in the garage. It was sitting in the garage anyways. It wasn't really driving it much. And they gave me a brand new 750i loaner vehicle. I was driving that around. I'm like, oh, take your time. It doesn't matter. And another big thing is I got this car before BMW ended their included maintenance program. Obviously, it's under warranty. None of that cost me a dime. I just dropped off the car. They fixed it, brought it back. But, let's just say my included maintenance ends, the warranty ends. A couple years later, if I were to buy this car, oh God, that would be terrifying. Oil changes, you can't do it yourself. There's like, the engine is buried underneath. I don't even know how many layers of just protective stuff, and you can't access that. There's no dipstick in this car. There's nothing you could really do on your own, and the cost of maintaining this car and the reliability would terrify me. So that's something I've learned while owning this vehicle. Something else that I've also discovered, this is the reason that kind of piqued my interest to make this video. I was just browsing values for fun. I was like, I wonder how much i8s are worth right now. I didn't really care because the beauty of leasing is I know exactly how much I'm going to be paying over the next whatever. The value of the car doesn't affect me per se. But what I did discover is I've dropped in value quite a bit. I almost wanted to title this video, why are i8s so cheap right now? But I didn't really want to set that tone with this kind of video. But a lot of them are hovering around for a 2014, 2015 model year with just a couple thousand miles. Most of them less than 10,000. They're going for in the mid 90s, right around $90,000 to $95,000. Some are getting maybe even $100,000. That's a significant drop from MSRP. Remember, mine is a pretty base vehicle. It's $140,000. They really only range from 140 right up to 150,000. That was 150 is pretty much as fully loaded as you could get. So they have dropped in value. A big part of that, I think, is because it's such a niche vehicle in a weird segment of the marketplace. It sort of competes in a 911, but 911 is established. It has history. Porsche has those customers. This is a very new one. The technology, you're uncertain with it. It's very unconventional. And again, as I mentioned, reliability is a scary factor. So the fact that in the future, the value is going to it's going to drop. I don't see i8s going for like 50 grand. They're not going to bottom out to that low. I don't think, not within the next 2 to 3 years. But I can see this being a $70,000 car. And that's the cool thing is my lease residual is set, agreed upon, 96 grand, and another year up to 20,000, and I have 7,700 miles on it. So it'll have 20,000 miles when I turn it in another year's time. It's not going to be worth 96 grand. The market value will be maybe at like 70 maybe. That's my guess. And so if I really wanted to keep the i8, I would be stupid to buy out this specific one because I'd have to pay $96,000 for it. I could just go back, all right, bye, I don't want this one anymore, and go find another one at the market value, which I think is going to be definitely lower, maybe 80 grand. So that's another reason why I would not want to keep this car past the end of the lease. So the last one is something I knew was going to happen once I got it. I miss making noise. I'm not going to keep this car. The next car I get is going to be very loud. If it's not loud enough from the factory, I'll make it even more loud. But overall, it's still an amazing vehicle. I love it. The design is great. Spent a year with it. This summer, I'm going to take it on a couple of trips. Going down to Columbus Cars and Coffee is hosting an event on June 24th. I'm registered to go there with, I think a couple friends might be coming down with me. I'm going to take it on some other trips, enjoy it. I might take it, I don't know, but it's a lot of fun. The design's great. People ask me about it. People want to take pictures with it. It's fun to drive. It's comfortable. I can use it to take it to work and also have fun with it. And heck, billionaire doors. Overall, gonna enjoy the hell out of this car until the lease ends. But once the lease ends, I'm definitely moving on to something else. It attracted me enough that I was gonna get it due to the really good lease deal. A lot of you know I got a $23,000 off sticker to get this vehicle. But it has not enchanted me enough for me to want to keep this for even longer. I hope you guys like this video. Kind of just informal. I'm actually heading to dinner with a couple of my friends, and I wanted to kind of discuss some of the stuff that you learn when living with this vehicle. If you're thinking about purchasing one of these or leasing one of them, shoot me a message on Instagram, whatever. I learned a lot about this between owning it, obviously, living with it every day, reading about it online, stuff like that. Oh, that is a cop. But overall, love it. Hope you guys like this video. Check me out on Instagram, EddieX616. Thanks for watching.